Hello everyone, welcome back to another Friday and another casual champion review. Holy crap, Lois. 3 ways. Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna look at Neeko. Neeko, although I do get to be Victor Arcane. I need to play new Victor actually. I haven't played much on PvE at all. I am very excited to play Neeko today though, because Neeko is just one of those guilty pleasure champions for me. She's so fun, especially after the mid-scope, and I'll talk about that as well, but very excited to play Neeko. You know what else I'm excited for? Fan art section. There's so many. Oh my lord. There's so much Neeko, and it's all incredible. Look at all those tomatoes. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. Thank you, fellas, so much. It's so cute. Oh, I love Neeko so much. I'm very excited to talk and play her again. I haven't played her in a long time, so I hope you guys enjoy it. There's a lot of good moments in this video. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day in this video. Okay, goodbye. So for Neeko's lore, Neeko is a member of the Cat tribe of Vastaya, and those tribe of Vastaya are actually the closest living relatives to the ancient Vastaya Shirei. The Vastaya Shirei were the first people to tap into the spirit realm, obtain its power, and as such it transformed them into these horrible animal hybrid freak things. And then eventually stuff goes down the line and they start to intermingle amongst themselves and create a whole bunch of different Vastayan generations. Already? Wait, you damn horse. Yippee! Because of the Cat's close lineage to the Vastaya Shirei, they retain some elements about them, primarily their ability to tap into the spirit realm in certain ways, and retaining their shape-shifting abilities. But there weren't very many of them left. In fact, the only Cat that we know of that actually survived lived on a very remote island. Where? We don't know, and it was destroyed by what? We don't know. We only know that Neeko was only able to escape because of her elders sacrificing themselves, and she transformed into a bird and flew away, which is kind of crazy to think that no others survived, except, yeah, some did. Now we know. We have Donnie from Legends of Runeterra. We know that others survived somehow, which is good because I'm honestly getting kind of sick of the whole, well, they're the last of their kind whole deal, because how many of those do we have in League? At this point we got Neeko, Ari, Skarner technically was before, Fizz, maybe a Mumu. Regardless, she flew away and collapsed into the ocean, drifting to the coast of southern Ishtal, where she realized, oh, well, you know, maybe I could try to survive here. And she tried to interact with the people of Ishtal, but to no avail. All the societies were kind of scared of her whole shapeshifting abilities, because she uses shapeshifting as her primary form of communication. In the same way that we use words to communicate or facial expressions, the Cat would shapeshift. Neeko found it very difficult to understand this world, and as such kind of secluded herself to the jungle, where she thought maybe she'd be more at home among the animals, and found a pack of jungle cats, which now we know as the Baka. That's the kind of cats that Nidalee hangs around with and can transform into. That's the whole thing. When she was running around with them, she realized, wait a minute, the pack leader transformed into a human-looking thing. And Neeko was kind of astonished by this, like, whoa, she's just like me for real, and tried to communicate with her at least a little bit. This human was revealed to be Nidalee. I mean, you could probably put that together. And they had a bit of a standoff, though, reluctantly, as Neeko asked her to join the tribe. Nidalee kind of accepted, oh, I guess, this little lost soul, sure, why not? And after a while hanging out with each other, a little bond would develop between the two. With Neeko specifically, it blossomed into a bit of a romance, though it was kind of one-sided. It got expanded a bit in LOR. Nidalee protects Neeko a little bit, but she treats Neeko more like a lost child, like a student and mentor type of relationship, whereas Neeko is actually quite deeply in love with Nidalee, so that's kind of sad for her that it's not reciprocated at all. That also did technically make Neeko like the first actual lesbian champion in League of Legends that was hard confirmed. There's the whole thing with Leona and Diana. That was just kind of fan speculation for the longest time. It was assumed that was what was going to happen, but it never did until much later. And I guess Neeko wasn't as directly confirmed. Neeko, if I remember correctly, was confirmed via tweet or something. But one night, Neeko saw visions in her dreams of the Cat, her ancestors showing her visions of a decaying and dying jungle, and she took this as a sign that she had to rebuild the Cat tribe. I don't know how that's the message she got. Holy, I do damage. Surely she won't fall for this, right? Like, no one would ever fall for this. Come closer. Come on, Katarina. Don't count the minions. Come on. You know you want me. You know you want these minions. Yes! Yes! I don't even think I kill her. Well, maybe I do. Well, I mean, Neeko, technically I did ask her to get close, but... Oh my god! Oh, Jesus Christ, you damn horse. Ah, you fell for it. Man, Neeko's so fun. It's so stupid and silly, but I love every moment of it. Oh yeah, the whole thing of her wanting to venture out into Runeterra to kind of build her own new Uvi Cat tribe through various humans and Vastaya and Yordles and such. She really wanted Nidalee to join her, but Nidalee was unconvinced, wanting to stay with the Paka tribe instead. Neeko was understandably sad about that, leaving her wannabe girlfriend behind, but she was determined to go back and rebuild the Vastayan tribe. And that's kind of where she's been left off at. I think she had one color story, if I remember correctly. She got put in Legend of Runeterra where she was captured by poachers and a bunch of people freed her, so that was kind of funny. I guess in that sense you had a bit of a reunion with Nidalee, which was fun. Maybe because of that story, they're actually properly together now, whereas before, again, Nidalee just kind of saw her more as just a little gremlin creature that she took care of. God damn it, horse. Ah, you fell for it again, you idiot. What you gonna do when there's two gods of death? This is Demacian kindred right here. It's just two lambs. Oh, that's the one thing about Neeko's disguise is sometimes certain visual effects don't register on the disguise. Like with Crab God, I didn't get any of the indicators for the shotgun knees. That's a little lame. I can't believe they haven't fixed that in this time. It kind of breaks the disguise completely. I think Neeko is very near, actually. Yes. Neeko! Oh boy. Now we talked about Neeko's lore, now we can actually move on to her design, which is one thing that I've kind of mixed on. So on the one hand, I've always liked Neeko. I think mainly because her personality is so incredibly endearing. She doesn't speak words too well. She looks like a little gremlin creature thing. I think the weird thing about Neeko's design for me has always been that she is equal halves. One, this kind of cute little gremlin creature, but on the other hand, she's supposed to be a not technically Vastaya Shirei, though in her original bio, she was listed as that, but apparently it was a lore inconsistency or they didn't mean to type it like that, which sure, buddy, sure. Oh my. So she's not a Vastaya Shirei, but she is still technically a Vastaya. The weird thing about her being a Vastaya like that is that the Uvi Cat are supposed to be the furthest away, genetically speaking, from humans. So in theory, Neeko should look the least human out of every Vastaya that we have in existence. And yet she is mostly just a human. She's got a tail and green body paint. It doesn't even really look like scales. Then you compare her to champions like Rengar or even Nami with the Mirai tribe or the Othrani tribe on Targon or the fish people in Bilgewater. There's so many other Vastaya that look infinitely more animalistic than she does, which feels incredibly strange because again, they're supposed to be so far away from humans genetically speaking, and yet she's so human in appearance. And we know this isn't just some kind of weird form she decides to take on for visual appeal's sake. Don't count the minions. You didn't count the minions, you stupid idiot. Ah. We know this isn't some kind of special appearance she takes on to make herself look more visually appealing for outsiders. We've seen again with Donnie in Legend of Runeterra. That's just the general aesthetic of how the Uvi Cat looked normally. I think for me that's the part that's always made me feel just kind of like, she feels kind of incomplete, like she's only just scratching the surface of what she could have been. Especially because chameleons are just inherently incredibly funky looking creatures. They tell me they didn't want to capitalize on all the crazy little extra bits they have, the horns, the weird little three-toed hands they use for climbing trees, the spines, the actual properly curving tail. Neeko's tail curves a little bit, but not to the degree that some chameleons do. And the thing is, I don't dislike Neeko for that either. I think that Neeko does well enough as just being this kind of cute, bubbly little gremlin creature that runs around just trying to make friends, and she succeeds in spades for that. I just think if you're trying to make a half chameleon person, Neeko feels incredibly just, well, we didn't even really try here, guys. Because I do want to bring up, way back in the ancient times of, I think, 2021, I held a little art contest where the prompt was to try and turn some human or human-adjacent champions into monsters. And there was one I particularly loved from this contest. Oh. Well, Lux, meet Lux at home. There was one I particularly liked that did turn Neeko into more of a chameleon monster, and I really, really like this one. To me, that's what I would love for Neeko to be. This freaky looking lizard person is just, I think that fits perfectly with who her character is. She is kind of a freaky weirdo, so making her look like a freaky weirdo, I think, works really well. She always felt like Lilia to me in a very similar sense, where you had this idea of making this kind of strange and fantastical looking character, but they pulled themselves back so much because they want to make a pretty girl waifu instead of a weird monster champion. Again, I don't dislike Neeko's design, not at all. I just see the potential of what she could have been in there and how it could have matched the other half of her character while they already captured the cute, bubbly side of her. But it's funny, the whole thing about her having the missed potential design-wise also extends to her gameplay a little bit. And again, I find it quite ironic that Lux is actually in this game because for the longest time, Neeko was also a fraction of what she could have been gameplay-wise. Because to me anyway, Neeko always kind of felt like Lux at home. I think as if you boil it down to their fundamental game plans, they are functionally identical. If you think about it, they both have a big bind that goes through minions that are then followed up by a big burst spell and a big burst spell ultimate that also is interspersed by enhanced auto attacks built into the kit. The main difference is that Neeko is much shorter range than Lux is, but for that trade-off is able to shapeshift into other champions. For me, that would be a worthy trade-off. The problem is, beforehand, that shapeshifting ability was so limited in its versatility and its usage. Before, if you wanted to disguise yourself as an ally, there were so many limitations on what you could do because everything would break the disguise. You got hit by a single auto attack and the disguise broke. If you had your disguise broken, even by your own self, then it would go on a lengthy cooldown. It felt so clunky and strange. When no, this should be the whole fantasy of the champion, right? If you're making a character who's supposed to be this burst mage, very similar in a game plan to Lux, but the caveat being that they can shapeshift into other champions, why is that design so restricted and limiting? There's a reason though I was using past tense because I think the mid-scope update kind of fixed everything. The fact that she could turn into literally anything now. Jungle camps, minions, champion pets, even the damn jungle plants. I still remember that whole video that I did with my friends where we were trying to play Neeko and Fiddlesticks in the bot lane. You'd have 3 Fiddlestickses there. Okay, so theoretically, the fact that I am so much slower than minions might... This is fine. I think her game plan still is and will probably never escape the whole being Lux at home thing, but now the other part of her, the thematic fantasy of being able to shapeshift into your allies and any other various amounts of things is so well realized, I don't even notice it anymore. And it's not always the best. Like, turning into a jungle camp, how many times is that even going to be useful? You just kill one of the chickens, disguise yourself as that? That's pretty funny, but it's barely going to have any kind of major significance on your game. But that's the thing that I like about it, is it's not designed inherently to be a meta thing. It's designed to be fun. Neeko, now, just like how she is personality-wise, is incredibly fun, stupid, and silly to play. And that's why it's always fun to pick up Neeko again. No matter what I'm doing, like, I've just played Neeko jungle or support or mid or whatever. It's just fun. It's like, you know what? I just want to goof around and turn into various other things just for fun. The whole minion technology is just hilarious. It kind of sucks that now I'm at the point where my movement speed is slower than the minions, so I can't accurately disguise myself as well. As for her skins, I can't believe we actually have time to talk about her skins. Maybe just because Neeko's lore is so brief and unexplored that it was really quick to get through. But she also does have a ton of really wonderful skins. I do really enjoy Star Guardian, as much of a mess of colors as it is, although I do like the prestige version even more with the whole butterfly aesthetic. I think that fits her wonderfully. Making the familiar, the frog from her initial teaser, is just genius. It's so cute. Shanghai Scrolls, just like all the rest of the originals of those skins, is also fantastic. I think Bewitching Neeko might actually be one of the very few of those skins I actually really enjoy, primarily just because it's so goddamn cursed. So her tail was never meant to curve that way. Cat tails don't do that. It looks horrifying. And of course, most recently it just came out was Cosplayer Neeko, and I really like Cosplayer Neeko as well. I didn't like it too much on the first initial reveal because it was like, how does this really celebrate the entire art form of League of Legends? But in retrospect, does that really matter so much when it's so fucking funny? Because I got to thinking about it. Of all the champions that could wear a cosplay, it's the one champion who can turn into literally anything she wants. Like, she has no need to wear this costume. She could just look like Chonk if she wants to, but wears the costume anyway. It's adorable, and I love it. Nobody will suspect. Lucian has no suspicions at all. He has no idea. Literally no clue. It wasn't worth it. Oh, man, Neeko. I may be feeding my ass off now because I'm just not playing the game. I'm just trying to get funny moments. But that's the thing. Neeko's just funny. I play Neeko because it's funny, and I love her for that. I don't never need her to be viable and competitive or be the best pick or ever be better than Lux in literally any way. But she's just an incredibly enjoyable time no matter how many times I played her. Well, the game seems to be ending, but not before I get one last slam. Never mind, Kindred literally killed everybody. Okay, well. Alright, thank you for watching this week's Casual Champion review, everybody, on Neeko. Next week, we will be looking at Nidalee, her not girlfriend, and that should be fun as well to watch me fail horrifically. So thank you, pals. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Goodbye.